So I have the insulation for this big wall. R13, it's a 2x4 wall. So we could insulate that and sheetrock that today. I also have the insulation for this front wall. I'm gonna use R30 in that since I have the depth. So we could insulate that. Or we could sheetrock the closet walls. I can't do that back wall where the panel box is because I still have to run some wires, especially if we're going to do the bathroom. I'm going to have to run some new circuits over to the bathroom. So I'm thinking let's throw some sheetrock up on these closet walls. That sounds like a good idea. Save the insulation for another day. Okay, so I just got a piece of 3/8 plywood that I'm going to lay down on the ground to hold my sheet up. And put our sheet in there. Set it on that plywood. And then we need to get a level. Make sure we keep her level. So stick a level on the top. And it's pretty dang close. Get one in it and then I can adjust it. Get a screw in this side over here. Okay, so on my drill, there's these numbers. That's a clutch. And the stronger the number, the more force it'll put the screw in. So I'm keeping it down low because I don't want to drive the screws through the drywall. And that sets them just about perfect on 1 or 2. I've been going on 1, but sometimes you have to turn it up to 2 if the wood's a little hard and that's hot. And that's perfect. You hear that clutch engage right there? I had to turn it up just a notch to sink it. And then sometimes it doesn't engage if the wood's a little soft, so you just gotta kind of feel for it. Like that was perfect. Now they do make a drywall screw gun, and I have one, and I might get it out for the walls. For the ceiling, it was just a little too hard, you know, by yourself to use that. But maybe on the walls, I'll get it out and I'll show you that. getting dark in here. That's a good sign. It means we're getting some rock up. Oh, you guys still here? I'll cut out the door after I screw it all off. It's a lot easier that way. I can cut two sides with the keyhole saw or the drywall saw, and then I can score the last side with my knife and break it. I'll show you how I do that. Let me screw this off. Okay, how I like to cut these doors out is I like to cut the two sides with the keyhole saw or drywall saw, and then I'll cut the top with my razor knife. I found that seems to be the best way. When you're doing it by yourself, I mean, I'm sure some drywallers will have different ways of doing it. They'll use a roto zip or whatever. But if you put your saw in there, you can follow right down the stud like that. It's not that bad. I mean, it doesn't take much energy to cut it. And you could use a sawzall. A lot of times I will use a sawzall with a long blade, and I'll just run it down. It's a lot easier than doing it by hand. But just wanted to show you guys how you can do it by hand. And it's not that bad. And you can get a nice clean cut, you know. So then you can just score it with your knife at the top. Get a good score at the top, and then you come inside and you can just lift it up. And then you got a nice clean cut. Getting dark in here. Yeah. Okay, let me show you guys something pretty important. You see where the wires go through the top plate up into the ceiling joists for the lights and stuff, and the wires ran across the room? Those all need to be filled in with some fire caulking or some fire foam. This is the Great Stuff Fire Block. It's fire foam. You could use the caulking too. Usually the caulking is red. This stuff is usually red too, but more of an orangish red. The caulking is like a real red. So anywhere our wires go through the top plate into the ceiling joist, or would be an attic if it was a house, we need to spray some of that fire foam in there. Sorry about the lighting. It's really dark out today, and it's dark in here. One of my lights blew out. But anywhere the wires go through like that, we're gonna have to fill that with fire foam before we insulate and put sheetrock over it. That's why I didn't put those pieces in the closet there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around and spray foam all those. There's one over there. Just go around and check. There's one there. There's one over here. So we need to go ahead and spray those with fire foam and fill them in. Okay, you always want to wear your safety glasses when you're messing with this foam stuff. You don't want to get this in your eye. You pretty much be blind. So we're just going to take it and fill in these little holes. See, it's more of an orange color. The caulking is actually red. Probably go ahead and do our fire blocks down here too. Now this stuff doesn't expand quite as much as like the yellow spray foam. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all these. Try not to get this stuff everywhere because it's pretty messy. But I'm gonna go ahead and do them all, and then we can start sheetrocking.